instead. So this is called Preserve. Tongues stained with blackberries, we collect kisses, falling into ditches, being stung by nettles. Your dress snags on a briar, and you cry out and mock her. I cut my way through the tangle of thorns as if I were your prince. Charming me, you undo your buttons as you step out of your dress, as if you were stepping out of yourself. Your dress hangs like a chrysalis. You let down your golden hair and we make love then and there. A tractor and some cows go by. We laugh and try to hide. The sun beats down on my bum. We giggle and come. Return to the big old dirty town and turn our blackberry picking days into luscious winter jam. Thank you. This is called Feline Friends. Curled up on the couch with a curled up kitten cradled in your lap, both of you totally out of this world. I smile at such a lovely double take, tiptoe round the flat, afraid that you should wake. I kiss both your noses and you both sniff and shift, adopt new synchronized poses. I can only love and sit and watch as one of you makes a move that the other will match. I take a Polaroid as I am leaving, place it between your toes where, on awakening, it will be seen to show you how very beautiful you've been. I was talking to George before we started and he said he had longings for apples and wine and, so you fall on your feet, haven't you? So this is called Longings. She had a longing for fried onions. He couldn't stand them himself, but there he was frying them for her at 4 o'clock in the morning, yawning, unshaven. She balanced them on her bump. He sleepily smiled. Well, aren't you going to eat them then? Ugh, no, I only like the smell. He wished the baby would come soon. This time last year we were in New Delhi launching this book. It's called The Smell of Purple. So I guess, look at these lovely bookmarkers I have, see the bookmarkers? Yeah. Thought you might recognise that. So this is the title poem, The Smell of Purple. It's all about growing up with my daughter, Tilly, and Tilly teaching me the world. So one day she rushed in and she said this to me. It's called The Smell of Purple. She says she can smell yellow. She says she can smell blue, despite not being able to spell either colour. Yellow smells the same as blue, like a wet kitty drying by the fire. Red smells like mummy when she kisses. Her kisses smell different when she kisses you. Then she smells like flames with little orange tips. Purple is my favourite smell. It smells just like a magic spell. I kiss her goodnight like violet, only lighter, with little flecks of purple scattered here and there. Thank you. We were a very naked family. Mum, dad, little girl went round in the nip and thought no more of it. And Tilly would come to her bed at 4 o'clock in the morning and she would just jump in on top of us. And of course we were just a mound of humanity, a sort of mountain of flesh, both male and female intertwined. And Tilly would just bum into the bed. Unfortunately, she would land on a mammary gland, thankfully not mine, or a private part of a male anatomy that hurts a lot if somebody jumps on it. Have you had anyone jump in yours, George? No, you hadn't. Don't ever have that happen. All right, this is not about that. This is about another time. We've been to a cocktail party, darling. We're very drunk on punch. And very, very hungover. And Tilly is not going to recognise any of this. She's still going to bomb in at 4 o'clock in the morning, jump in to bed. I used to try to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning so I could go. But no, she'd always catch me. So this is this time. It's called I Feel Pretty. Oh, so pretty. Wake. Covered in glorious glitter, smelling strongly of PVA glue, sticking to my cheek, very hung over, and covered in blue, red, orange, yellow feathers. A bubble recently blown, perched upon my nose. I still half comatose. Tiny bubbles travel amongst my curls as strew a bigger bubble brightly, nestling neatly over my right eye. I observe my tiny daughter purse her lips and kiss more bubbles into being. Dilly! I force my lips, still frozen in sleep, to somehow speak. What you do? See, even my syntax and sentence structuring is shot. She smiles sweetly. I'm prettying you. Thank you. Right, this is the set that was set in stone, so it's now become part this and part that. This is called After the Row. I was having a terrible row with George before we started. I said, if you win the wine, George, give me the wine. He's going, no way, I'm going to win the wine, but I'm not going to give it to you, like that. So this is called After the Row. Built an overlarge snowman on your front doorstep and hid behind it. Rang your doorbell until you were annoyed by it. Yes, you flung open the door to be confronted with a snowman telling you he loved you until slowly your heart began to melt. George, for those of you in the audience who don't know who George is this geezer here. George was bragging. I came in and, I sat down and there was nobody on the chair. And I went to put my bum in the chair. Pat said, don't sit there, George is sitting there. And I was going, and I thought George was an ant or something like that, and I'd sat him and squashed him. And then George appears.
I was singing in the carsey.
Yes, you were singing in the carsey. And, he comes back, and, I don't know the geezer at all. He just suddenly goes, I can make toast. And I go, good for you. I thought, are you sure? Just bragging about making toast. Like, what a way to introduce yourself to a person. And I said, are you sure you know how to make toast? And he'd go, well, kinda. So I wrote him a poem called Toast. This is the proper way, George, to make toast. Okay, mate? We'll have a toast off at the end, all right? Okay, toast. Fire! The house was busily burning down. Quick, one screeched. Go fetch the marshmallows. I dashed back into the inferno and emerged long minutes later. My eyebrows ablaze, my nostril hair slightly singed. The fire had greedily gobbled up all the marshmallows for itself. Shit, said Mum. Shit, slapping me about the head with each uttered syllable. I managed to save a loaf of mother's pride, I cried. And so we had toast. This is called Memory Motel. Unfortunately, I'm going to try out a new poem in you that isn't a reading poem, but there you go, you just have to listen extra carefully. I was on a train journey to York on an old-fashioned choo-choo, the ones where they throw a bow of smoke over their shoulder and they choo-choo along. And I met this gorgeous couple, and they were about 80, and they were an iconic, old, lovely couple, where you think, oh, they're so cute. And you imagine that they were childhood sweethearts and they went through all their life together and all that. So we were talking, we fell into talking with them, and they were saying, yes, they did happen to know each other when they were childs. No, they weren't sweethearts. Then they were, and then this is the real story. They were obviously a couple now, but they went through a hell of a lot before that. This is called Memory Motel, which is a Rolling Stone song, if you know the Rolling Stones. He burnt his draft card, she burnt her bra, they burnt their bridges. She was always Stones, man, he a big Beatles fan, the only thing they argued over. Took off for all that glittered against their family wishes, they rolled their own. The war happened on the telly, kicks in her belly. Saw the 60s through, saw through each other, divorced in 72. Divorce was now the war, the long battle. He took the boy, she took the girl, hostages to love. The kids hated him, her, it. He runs through women, she runs through men like it's some competition. The needle gathers fluff, riding the black shellac, her life badly scratched. The needle falls to the floor. She don't know nothing no more. cleans herself up, kicks the habit, the health fanatic, becomes Mrs. Jones, unbecomes Mrs. Jones. Now, somehow here in 2002, they do the wife and husband thing again. They're happier this time round. He's still a big Beatles fan, she's still Stones man. Thank you.